We have a goal and a mission. And the goal of this coalition is essentially good government, as trite as that sounds. We believe that the county council should be made up of council members, each of whom is genuinely committed to responding to the citizens' wishes, all of the citizens, and it takes seriously our comprehensive plan, which is the citizen-based vision of how Talbot County is supposed to be developed long-term, and that's the goal. The mission, because of what's unfolded in the last 4 years that most people don't know about, the mission is to vote out Jennifer Williams, the president of the county council at present, in particular. She has also had constant support from two other members of the county council, Mr. Pack and Mr. Callahan, but our specific goal is to unseat the county council president. The four groups are Neighborhoods Are for Neighbors, which is a group associated with the short-term vacation rentals around the county. Citizens for Sustained Communities, I believe, is the name of the group that is most focused on noise issues. On land use, zoning, and rezoning and sewer issues is Talbot Preservation Alliance. It's been around for over 20 years. There was a time that that's when I got involved with the comp plan, was through them. And also a group that in particular focuses on the well-being of the historic villages called Citizens for Managed Growth. And those are the four groups who make up the members. But we have a long list of individuals in the county of every political party, some prominent, many who are not prominent, who have publicly endorsed our goal and our mission because they are in that circle of people who have a sense of what has been happening at the county council. And the goal and objective are both altogether policy driven, not personality driven. What the bipartisan coalition represents is a bona fide grassroots reaction from across the spectrum of the community to the actual experience of the last 4 years in the county council, which focused on really three issues. We have 38,000 residents. We've got about 28,000 registered voters, and we've got about 18,000 more or less who normally vote on an off-year election like this one. Starting at the other end, there are probably 150, 200 people who are actually deeply involved in politics in the sense of they serve in office, or they're on a central committee, or they have a staff position. And then there are about 400, I have no idea, 300, 400, 500, no more than that, people who for one reason or another, just citizens, for one reason or another have come to be engaged with what the county council is doing. And it's because of an issue that affects them, their neighborhood, their community, and they've had to get involved. The three issues that have motivated people to get involved, one has to do with the zoning and the threat of rezoning driven by sewer lines that are going to be run out into the county, which are needed and being supported across the board. But it's the unintended consequences that come with that have drawn attention. The other two issues are more immediate and arose in 2018 with the Next Step 190, which had to do with the new noise ordinance, where there was a threat of doubling the noise limitations. And then the other was the short-term vacation rental phenomenon, which has exploded. So those three issues have really brought a lot of people to watch the county council, watch Mrs. Williams, who has been the dominant force on the county council and has a relationship that evidence shows a relationship that she almost always is able to generate a 3-2 majority to lead the council in the direction she wishes to take it. The citizens that I'm referring to, the ones who have been engaged because of these issues and have watched what's unfolded. At the September 11th meeting, less than 60 days ago, the County Council, by a 3-2 margin, Jennifer Williams, Corey Pack, Chuck Callahan, refused to enact 3 relatively modest amendments that would have helped protect the neighborhoods that are so much affected by the short-term rentals. There were a lot of very unhappy people. 2 weeks before that is when they had substantially increased the noise levels in the county, again to the overriding the clearly expressed at the public hearing positions of the citizens, and people were very upset. The comprehensive plan you alluded to is, first of all, the comprehensive plan is the umbrella for everything, but it's in the comprehensive plan land use section that all the land use issues, including the rezoning threats, what happens triggered by sewer lines and things of that sort, are all within what is often referred to as, the problems with the comp plan are really referring to the land use issue, as you couch it. And it is true that broadly there is Maryland law that is argued from time to time having to do with that very question. The Amendment 4 that was proposed by Mrs. Price and did wind up ultimately being enacted, however, was crystal clear and unambiguous in its ability to achieve that goal. And Mrs. Williams and Mr. Callahan clearly expressed to me personally their opposition to that in meetings that are documented. I believe, and attorneys in the county, Tom Alsbach for one, who wrote on this issue, would point out the ambiguities that are in Maryland law. So the question is it more or less covered? Yes, it probably is more or less covered.
But if you wanted somebody to double down on it.
There is no reason not to have in our zoning law and in our comprehensive plan clear and unambiguous language that deals with the central threat to long-term threat, not tomorrow. I might be in a pine box, but what will change Talbot County from the special place it is. It's not the only issue. Back to what gave rise to this bipartisan coalition. The September 11th meeting was the straw that broke the camel's back. Many people, for different reasons, not all the same reason, were, having watched the county council, Ms. Williams and her majority, have their way for some time, said to one another, we need to do something about it. Because we all do recognize that most people have no idea what we're talking about. It sounds like, and the expectation, for reasons that I'd be happy to talk about, is that somehow or another this is personal, and that it's an attack, and it's very negative. And that's not the genesis of this at all. It is that Republicans, Democrats, independents, if there's a problem with noise in the community, it hurts the Republicans as much as everybody else. Independents and everybody else are hurt by short-term rentals. These issues have nothing to do with political party. The bipartisan coalition's role and objective is to have responsive council members. Everybody on the coalition doesn't fully understand each other's issues, doesn't even necessarily agree with them. There is one and only one thing that the community organizations who founded it, and the supporters who are individuals of every persuasion, there's only one thing everybody is in agreement with, and that is the need to change the council leadership. Indeed.